welcome to this week's video. Today I'm going to be making a cute little deer after seeing it on Pinterest. The link to the video will be in the description. To start out, I'm going to ball up some tissues and wrap them in foil. The girl in the video did it with needle felting, but I wanted to do it with some faux fur as well as sculpting instead. Using foil as a base is just to help save on clay and make it much lighter. And I wanted it to be pretty light because I want this to be able to be something that you can hold in your palm and it's comfortable to hold and not too heavy. After my foil base is done, I'm going to add a thin layer of air dry clay to begin the sculpting process. Next, I'm just going to start sculpting in some of the important details like the nose and the ears. After it dried a little, it started cracking like a lot for some reason, so I'm going to fill those in and add a tail. After that, I'm going to add some little indents for her sleepy, closed eyes. Once my sculpture is completely dry, I'm going to sand it down to get off some extra edges or things that are just sticking out. Since I'm going to be gluing on some faux fur, I'm going to add a little base coat, and it doesn't really have to be clean, it's kind of just to make sure that if I miss a spot or something, you can't see down to the white clay. I'm also going to paint in the eyes and the nose, although those details kind of get covered up and I had to redo them anyways. the faux fur, I'm just going to use some tacky glue and a paintbrush that I don't care about to smooth it out. And I'm going to glue on chunks of faux fur that I have cut off of the backing. After doing this for a few hours, I discovered a method that worked really well, which is to put down the glue and smooth it out, and then cut off the faux fur. And you're going to want to take it from like the back of the pile to the front, which I guess doesn't make a lot of sense, but basically you just want to lay it on so that all of the pieces are touching the glue, and then you want to like press down with your finger only slightly, because if you press down too hard, the glue will get stuck to your finger and pull up all the faux fur. That probably didn't make a whole lot of sense, but I hope that seeing me do it makes it a little bit more easy to understand. After my glue has dried and the whole thing is covered in fur except for the eyes and the nose, I'm going to start shaving it down. And I was being really careful to not push too hard or make any bumps or anything like that. Since my pet hair trimmer can't get into all of the little crevices, I'm going back in with some itty bitty little scissors and doing some detail trimming. Once I'm happy with all of the fur, I'm going to go in with some very watered down paint to add some more color and depth. And I realized afterwards that I had chalk pastels, so I'm going to use those later. To make sure that the paint had fully saturated the fur and didn't make it crunchy and stuff, I am going to clean it up with a wet paper towel and just like blend it into the fur a little bit better. I also accidentally chipped the paint on her nose, so I'm going to go back in and fix that. For my chalk pastels, I made sure to shave down the sides so that it would be in a powder that I could apply more easily. The last detail is to give her some eyelashes, and deers do have like really long eyelashes, but I'm going to trim these down so that they're not overly dramatic. And after that, she's all done. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!